Well, hello and welcome to our Q&A. And we first off, want to tell you what color t-shirt won for the Jammies pictures, the Jammies, and it was the color green. You guys voted for green. Yellow was next in line, and then green.
Because red means stop, and green means go.
Yeah. Okay. So we'll do green. I told you guys get to choose what color t-shirt, so we're going to do green.
That's something you brag about, okay? You help choose.
And then also, I want you guys to choose if we will have if you want me to have the jammies all done for Cherry Hills, and we can all prance around in our matching jammies up at our camp out. I think that would be fun. Or have it for Christmas.
It needs to be at Christmas time.
Well, I'm going to let them vote.
No, our children also get to vote too.
Yeah, they want Cherry Hills. Anyway, we'll let them vote too. Okay, let's go ahead and get started with the questions. Sorry. Okay, Debbie.
Ayello.
Okay.
Ayello.
The tulips look beautiful. You two are adorable. Oh, well, thanks. Are you going to make and sing more songs for iTunes? Yes, I've got 6 finished. And I've got a couple, about 2 or 3 more I want to get done, and I need to just kick myself and get a going on that.
I can do that for you.
Okay. Yes, and thank you. I'll get those on iTunes because I think there's some good songs too, but I'll let you guys be the judge of that. Donna Ferguson, here's a question for your next Q&A.
When do you start making your Christmas pajamas for the family? Because there are so many. How early do you have to start?
Yeah, good question.
She started right now.
I've got the material. I showed it last week. I guess I can show it again.
Just grab one of the bundles.
I'll just grab one of the smaller ones. They sent it to me in pieces, and this is the 1 yard. We're covered up. And you guys voted on the green, so I think the green will look really good with this. It'll look camping-ish. So I get the material now, and then when I get energy, I start to cut them out. And then when I get the energy again, I start to sew them. But if I have a deadline, I will get it done. 1 year, I procrastinated. I had them all cut out and everything, and Christmas Eve, I started sewing them. I did get them done, but I was up till 6 in the morning.
And you vowed never to let that happen
I said, I will never do that again. I mean, I did it, but it's not a good idea. Take my time. It takes me about 4, maybe 8 hours to cut them out. So do that in 2 days or even 3 days. And then to sew them, it takes me about 15 minutes per jammies to sew them. And so if I sewed 10 a day, I could get them done in 3 days.
Then we're going to interrupt. Show that picture and ask the people to comment who they think it is.
Oh, okay. This was at my boutique, and I did tell them, but I don't know who watched the video.
Okay. Who is it?
Can you tell who that is? Okay, we'll tell you who it is next week and see who gets it right. Okay. And how early do you have to start? Yeah, so if we do it for Cherry Hills, I'll have to start now. If we save it for Christmas, I won't really have to start till October.
Till the week before.
Oh, October's when the new babies do. Anyway. Okay, Lisa Vinson.
Oh, can you freeze fruit cup?
Yes, you can. You can freeze it. I usually don't freeze it till the 3rd day. After the 3rd day, it's getting kind of mushy. You know, it's not as good. So I usually put it in you can freeze it just as the fruit cup, or I like to put it in the blender and blend it up and put it in cups and freeze it that way. And then when I want to drink it, I just put it in the microwave, and it's a drink. Yeah, for about a minute.
A little cup like that.
Yeah, about a minute and a half or 1 minute, and drink it that way, and it's really good. It's just like a juice shake. So yes, you can freeze fruit cup. Bella. I love those quotes. And where do you find your quotes? I'll tell first about why we do the quotes. Remember our quote wall?
Oh, yeah.
Years ago, 30, 40 something years ago, I used to have a quote wall because I would write my favorite quote down on a piece of paper. I don't know if we even have those papers anymore. And I would read them every day. And that would help me to get through the day, to read those quotes. Back then we didn't have internet, Siri, what's the other one? Alexa, the computer where you can look all these things up. And so I would write them down, and then when we started doing these, I thought, oh, we got to tell about our quote wall. And then we started doing our quotes, and then eventually I ran out of reading my quote walls, and how we find them now is on the internet. I'll look up, you can look up inspired quotes, funny quotes, Mother's Day quotes, Father's Day, any title you want. There's quotes for everything. George Washington quotes, President.
And actually there's quotes where just the name itself brings up quotes.
Yeah.
Like if you do Mark Twain or if you do Mother Teresa, anything they say are golden.
Yeah. Yeah, or type in Mama O quotes. Those aren't famous. But that's a good question. And then I'll look through them and I'll see what quotes I like and just read them. And I think Bella said that she goes, how do you know? I needed that quote for the day.
I was just going to say that different quotes appeal to different people.
Yeah, they do. And they just help you get through the day. It's just amazing. And that's why we started the quotes, was from my quote wall. Okay, why don't you read the next one, Christina Fortier.
Whoa.
Did I say it
You
right?
had French. That's good. This was such a fun DIY. I have never made angel food cake from scratch. Thanks for showing how easy it is. Do you have a favorite recipe from your mother?
Oh, from my mother, yeah. Yeah, and I'm glad that you watched. The angel food cake really is simple to make. It's just a lot of eggs, a lot of egg whites. That's all it is, and it's just fluffy and nice and fluffy. And so it is easy, and I hope you did try it. And a favorite recipe from my mother, believe it or not, is sketty.
Tell them
it's gone down.
In case they don't know that word.
Spaghetti. Yeah. But we did the long spaghetti. What do you call that? I like the thin ones, the angel hair. But that was my favorite from my mom, and that was our children's favorite when we'd go to my mom's, and I would try and make it, and they didn't like it as much.
Actually, the skinny they call spaghetti, but they kind of call it, starts becoming noodles when it's bigger.
Yeah, and then our grandkids, they like the shell noodles, and my kids say they don't like how they make it, they like how Grandma makes it. And then my kids would say they didn't like how I made it, they like how Grandma makes it.
But part of how you make it is our homemade tomatoes and the seasoning you put with them. Oh, and the seasoning you put with them, and
yeah,
and the sauce itself is your own.
My mom would put ketchup in hers, and I don't. But I guess you acquire taste, and it's just fun at Grandma's house. And
no, the sauce is half of it. It's really
the
good.
sauce is half of it. So that's a good question. Okay, Kathy Conley. The cake looks so good. I don't buy all-purpose flour. My mom used all-purpose flour and baking powder, but I never learned how to use it. Will self-rising be all right? Yes, self-rising would be fine. I just use flour, plain old flour, and just add my own stuff. And some people have cake flour, that, you know, all that different kind of flours, but I just use plain old flour, and it works best for me. I like the flour from the Lehigh roller mills. I don't know why I like it. It just makes my sister Judy told me about it, and it's just so good. It's I like the unbleached because it's got all the nutrients in it, like Papa was saying.
Well, we were going to use the word enriched.
Yeah, enriched.
Enriched is a nice word for putting vitamins back into it after they've bleached wheat to become white.
Yeah, I like the unbleached. Okay, Bella, I need one of those mixers. What is the mixer called? And it's a Bosch mixer, or she talk about the bread mixer. Okay, it's called a Breadmon, the bread mixer, and the Bosch mixer is the other one that I use. Okay, All right, and it's really, really good. Okay. Oh, and Bella says one more thing. What do you put on your skin? Your skin is flawless and smooth. So nice of you to say.
You could say you haven't seen me up close.
Now she has. Okay. I don't use base makeup. I quit using that 30-something years ago. Base means the foundation.
After a neighbor girl from Germany says, "Why are you putting that on your face?"
She goes, why? She says, just do natural. And I thought that's unheard of to not use foundation on your face. I'd never heard of that. And she goes, you don't need it. She says, look how big your pores are, and it's just drinking it in. And so I did stop using it, and I started using it. It's called Aloette, and it's just the aloe vera plant. And that keeps my skin healed. Well,
Aloette is the name of the company that makes a big variety of of products that are derived from the aloe plant.
From the aloe plant. And Papa O uses it too. He uses the lotion and the Visible Aid is 99% of the aloe. It helps his itching.
Because I've had eczema my whole life. And
yeah.
I was in a grocery store. A girl had red on her arms and she was scratching. And she said, I have eczema really bad. And she couldn't quit itching. It was all red. A kid went over to the aloe plant. It looks like a cactus a little bit. Broke it in half, got the syrup out of it, and rubbed it on her arm.
And we all know the aloe
Within
plant.
10 to 15 minutes, the redness had gone away.
And I wanted to start using it because I heard that Cleopatra bathed in it. Can you imagine how many aloe?
We don't know.
We'll have to Google it. Okay, but that's what I use. And I'll post the video here of what I use on my face. That's really nice of you to say. Okay, Carolina Girl 76.
She wants to know if Judy's cookbook's for sale.
Or it was just made for the family. And I'll post below where you can get that cookbook.
Buy the cookbook.
Yeah. Yes, where you can buy her cookbook. Ancestral Bliss, Mama O, I'm intrigued as to how you didn't know how to cook. Yeah, didn't know. On the farm, we were just always out.
No, but you knew all the parts. Like if your mom said, watch these potatoes, they're boiling.
No, we were not in the kitchen. No.
Yeah,
my sister Kathy was in there because she had open heart surgery, and so my dad let her stay in the house because he was worried about her. But the rest of us were outside.
They had to do important work that was actually physical labor.
My mom did all the work inside because we were all outside working. I did have home economics, and so I learned a few things there. And did
you learn how to boil water?
Oh yes, how do you boil water? And when I got married, I knew how to make spaghetti.
Do you want to tell them the story of your first meal?
And I tried to make homemade chicken noodle soup. I could post that here. I do know how to make it now. And I put in too much salt. I probably put in a tablespoon instead of a teaspoon.
And how did I react?
And you were eating it. And finally I said, oh, I can't eat this anymore. How are you eating it? He goes, well, I didn't want to hurt your feelings. I think it was our second week being married or first week or something. We got home from our honeymoon. And so I said, well, let's just throw it out. And even the cats wouldn't eat it. It was so salty. But I did learn. You do learn out of necessity.
That's one of my favorite dishes now.
Yeah, the chicken noodle soup.
Yeah.
We'll have to make that tomorrow. Or maybe we'll have Papa cook it.
I'll forget that part.
Oh, forget that part. Okay, and I assumed growing up on the farm that you would have, but I guess with the dynamics of a big family farm, lots of help is needed for many other duties as well. That's right.
Roseanne had 200 chickens that she had to...
We had a lot of chores.
Okay, 200 chickens. She had to gather the eggs, feed them.
Yeah.
Animals had to be fed.
No, we were always out on the farm.
And
we kind of...
Roseanne even dug... Tell them about the outhouse hole that you dug.
Yeah, you just did. You just told.
No, how deep?
8 feet deep by 4 foot.
By 4 foot.
Yeah, and I was glad that I didn't have to go out and do chores.
Why wouldn't the boys do that? And Roseanne's answer was, They had to do the real work.
They're out plowing, planting. Oh, we were always busy with some kind of chores. And then it says, then she says, what was a typical day like when you were all children in your mom's kitchen? Food preparation and all.
Yeah, you were
We
in
were
the
just
kitchen.
eating. The only time we were in the house was to eat and to sleep. And then we'd watch, because we were always out. We were always outside working, and we'd come in, and we loved to watch Frightmare. Does anybody remember Frightmares?
Actually, I don't.
That was Friday nights, and we would watch a scary show. It was really scary. And we'd watch home movies a lot.
And
Dad would get the projector out.
Most of you were just dead tired and would have to fall asleep during most of
it's funny. We were watching our home movies on the projector, and we'd tell Mom we want fries, and she'd be in there making fries for us. Now I look back on it, I thought, why didn't we go in and help her? You know, and
because she'd spend all her time
she'd be in there peeling,
correcting you, telling you what you should be doing.
Would be peeling the potatoes, and she finally says, you know what, if you guys aren't going to help me peel the potatoes, I'll just make the fries with the skins on. And we loved it. We loved the fries. We go, okay, cook. You know, we should have gone in there and helped her, but we didn't. We loved those fries. She would cook them all up till do a whole 10-pound bag or 20-pound bag of potatoes. But that's a good question. And I just remember Mom, she's just always cooking, always in the kitchen. And she'd say by the time she got the dishes done from breakfast, it was time to prepare lunch. And by the time she got everything done from lunch, it was time for dinner.
So, since you didn't have heated water part of the time on the farm, so how would you wash the dishes?
You just heat the water on the stove. And then have a big pan that you'd wash the dishes in. We didn't have running water till I was inside the house, till I was about 11 years old. And then my Grandpa Lee, my mom's dad, he says, you got to get some running water into the house. We'd have a milk can sitting in the hallway that we'd fill up with the hose. And the hose was well water, and we'd have that full. We'd just have a cup that we'd drink out of that, and then when we needed to heat up the water, we'd scoop the water into a pan and heat it on the coal burning stove.
And I don't know if they saw the round tub, where you had a bath.
I'll post a picture.
Yeah.
We had to heat up the water once a week at least. But you'd all use the same water. You're not gonna heat it up, dump it out for each child. You're going to all use the same water.
So
and Mom let the girls go first.
Did you have the dirtiest boys to last?
They were last, yes. The boys were always last. My brother Slade was last. He was always so dirty. I don't know how he got so dirty. Anyway, Mom, and we'd wash our hair in the sink when we got, we'd just put our head down in the sink.
But what was ironic, one of your brothers became a plumber, and he wanted to put a toilet inside the house.
Yeah.
And this is what I tell. I don't know if it's true, but he said, no, it's not sanitary.
No, it's true. My dad says, why would I want that in the house? It's not
why would I want a
sanitary
toilet in the house? It's
at
not
all.
sanitary.
It needs to be out back. So, and I tell jokes. I say, like, I would tell people, I say, yeah, when Joe asked me to marry him, I said, you got an indoor bathroom? And he said, yeah. And I go, done. People think that's so funny. You think it's funny.
I got to remember that joke.
You got to remember that one?
So I can tell that one.
All right, let's do one more. Daniel Lefko, 19. What a nice day to spend with family. You are in spring. What do you do in the summertime? The summertime, Cherry Hills, garden, kids over, birthdays. The kids all look way forward to Cherry Hills, even though it's just a overnight.
Well, the different family members, their parents are also scheduling water parks and ways to have fun. Then she'll invite the rest
We're
of them.
always going to grandkids' ball games, programs. Something's always going on, so there's just a lot going on in the summertime. It's just kind of like in the wintertime, springtime. There's always something going on. But summertime is my favorite because my favorite is summer nights. Papa O's is spring.
Spring's my favorite.
I didn't like spring growing up because it was always so muddy. on the farm. Mud, mud, mud everywhere. Just a mess. But here in the city, it's not a mess. It is really nice.
One reason I like spring is because it's beautiful to see the buds starting.
That is true.
You're thinking another beautiful year.
I love that too. Now that I'm, living in the city, I guess, are we in the city or suburbs? It is beautiful to see all that. But my favorite is summer nights because it's not cold. We used to sleep out in the tree house when I was a kid, and you can take midnight walks, and I just love summer nights. It's so peaceful.
You like it because of the sunsets too.
And the sunsets.
In Utah,
yes.
we have beautiful sunsets.
Yes. I thought, boy, if I die in the winter or the spring, just save me, put me on ice or save me somewhere till a summer night, and then you can bury me on a beautiful summer day.
If I'm alive in the springtime, I know I'm going to make it through summer and into fall.
Okay, yeah. Summer. It's just a good positive time, maybe because the sun's out, and it is hard to get through winters, but winters are pretty too. But I just like summer nights. Okay, last one, Donna Craven's. Could I have your recipe roll? Yes. I will post it right here. And I do know how to make rolls. I just use Rhodes dough on Sunday because I have so much to make. I just don't have time. And I do have where you can make my rolls and freeze them just like Rhodes dough does, but you have to take the time to do it. And so I have a really good recipe. It's easy and easy cheesy. We'll go ahead and close with a couple of quotes. Okay. And I just get these off the internet, but it has to be ones I like. Let me see that one. Oh, you're going to read the one?
Vincent van Gogh, he was the one that did Starry, Starry Night.
Starry Night?
Remember, he got famous for that. And it's kind of modern. Anyway, I like this one. I would rather die of passion than of boredom.
That's funny. I was going to read that one. And I must have read your mind. I think you get married so long. No, before your thumb went there, I was going to read that. And then I saw your thumb go there, and I said, he read my mind.
No, but I was thinking when I started skating at 61 years old, skated for 13 years, and that was my passion. I didn't have time to die or do anything.
You didn't have time to die?
Just have a mountain skating accident, that's all.
He thought he could skate in the mountains. Okay. Let's see. You become what you believe. I believe that because it all starts up here. No matter what it is you're doing, you're thinking, it starts here before you actually do it. So I just believe that. If you believe it, then that's what will happen. And in fact, going back to the quote walls, I remember now why.
And when she says quote wall, she means 8.5 by 11 paper where that gets filled up, and then there's another one filled up.
Yeah, I actually would staple them to the wall, because when I was growing up, I was made fun of, and I started to believe that that's who I was. And I said, I just don't believe that. I don't believe in... one of the quotes that I loved that was on my quote wall was, what I am is God's gift to me. What I become is my gift to God. And I remember that, and I thought, I want to be something. I wanted to break out of what the people thought I was growing up. They would make fun of us, and I wanted to pull out of that. And that's why I had the quote wall, so that if I read that every day, then I could pull out of and believe that I could be more than what they said I was. So I just believe that you become what you believe. If I would have believed what others said about me, then I couldn't have progressed. I couldn't have become who I am today.
You've got a lot of new subscribers. Okay, a couple of quick reasons why they made fun of her is they had to do chores before they went to school. So some of the kids might have had manure on their feet or
So we did smell.
Smelled like a farm.
I will post pictures of what our farm looked like. It wasn't a normal farm. My dad collected cars, and he had outhouses on there. He had that we didn't use. He just liked to collect them. Tires and
broken tractors and
washing machines. I will show you
refrigerators.
I think Papa O has a quick minute video or a couple 5-minute video. I'll post that above so you can see what my farm was. And we had 13 kids living in a little cinder block home with outhouse, and so people just mocked us, like, and you know, they just made fun of us. And we were the first ones in Highland, but then all of a sudden these rich people started living in Highland. They wanted to get rid of my dad because they said, you're bringing down the value of our house, and so they wanted to get rid of us, and we were just not liked very much.
And there were a lot of lawsuits.
Yeah.
To force him to get rid of
the stuff,
his treasures on his property.
And we did it was treasures to him, and we did get rid of him after he died, or in the process. A few years before he died, we finally did clear off the farm. It took 3 years for 2 brothers every day to clear the farm off. So I will post pictures so you can see what it was like. But that's why we made fun of him. So I had to pull out of that, and it all starts up here. It's what you believe is what you will become. Thanks for liking, commenting, and subscribing. Welcome new subscribers, and make sure you ring the bell so you'll be notified. We do Q&As every Thursday, DIYs every Friday, and then the rest is just whatever happens.
Tell them a story about Judy agreeing and laughing at herself.
How to stop getting people to make fun of us. Yeah, my sister, we were probably in junior high. No, we were in high school, sophomore and junior. And she says, I'm so sick of them making fun of us. And the bus would pull right in front of our house. And depending on what way the wind was blowing, it's going to smell. Animals stink. They just do.
Manure.
Manure, yeah. And so I said, I followed her lead, and so just before we're getting where you could smell it, my sister hops up and she starts walking down the aisle, and she said, ooh, Bueller's, because that's what they used to say to us. That's my maiden name. Oh, it's Bueller's. Oh. So she started doing it, and then I thought, oh, so she told me to follow her lead, so I hopped up and started saying, oh, it's Bueller's. And we laughed. Just me and Judy were laughing. They were silent on the bus. And the bus driver pulls in front of our house and lets us out, and it's all quiet, and we're just laughing, and we could not hear anything from anybody. And they quit doing that. They thought, it's no fun to make fun of you. You're going to make fun of yourself. And from that day on, they quit making fun of us. They made fun of our cousins down the street. They made fun of them.
And then that's a good story.
And my sister Elisa punched one of them in the nose and made his nose bleed because he was making fun of one of our cousins. Anyway, that's just one of the stories. Okay, we're going to say goodnight.
Imagine having a 12-year-old girl punch a boy in the mouth because he was picking on, bullying somebody.
Because it's no fun to be made fun of. But you can turn it around. You can make something out of yourself. You don't have to live in your past. You can leave your past behind you. You know where your behind is? It's behind you. So leave it there. Quit putting it in front of you. That looks silly. Okay, thanks. And we shall see you guys next week. And we're going to go ahead and I want you to vote on who this person looks like, the baby picture. And then I want you to tell me if you want me to have the jammies ready by Cherry Hills. Wait, okay,
no.
There we go. I will tell you next week. Thank you and good night.
Good night.
And remember to look for the rose.